Schedules. We get schedules. We get lots and lots of schedules. Schedules. Just starting on me. Is it 2 of the last 3 days? 2 of the last 4 days? I opened the show with singing. Anyway, you're welcome. Welcome into the show. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is a little program I like to call the Farzy Show, and it's brought to you by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Just lovely to have you along for the ride. Ladies and gentlemen, Eagles schedule does in fact come out. I'm excited about it, especially for the month of December, where where the Eagles just get to chill. Bus rides galore. Home games and bus rides. We'll break it all down on today's program, of course, as we always do, and we'll get into the Philadelphia Phillies, who, by the way, not only did they win the game yesterday, the Atlanta Braves lost their game yesterday. So the Philadelphia Phillies are now 3 games up on the Atlanta Braves in the NL East. This is the earliest I've cared about the standings in a very, very long time, and it feels good to care about the standings. The earliest I've cared about the standings in a season in a very long time, and it's a beautiful thing. Let's start off with your Phillies. Now I'm confusing you. With your Eagles schedule. Here it is for you, folks. Preseason, you see it start off there on that Friday, August 9th, and then August 15th. That's a Thursday. They open up against the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. 2 of their preseason games are on the road, which is ridiculous. And then Saturday, they wrap things up against the Minnesota Vikings at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's your preseason schedule. Let's just go right through the regular season, 17-0. And then the Super Bowl's on February 9th. That's all we really need to know, right? Right. In all honesty, here's what jumps out to me about the schedule immediately. One, I love Monday Night Football against the Atlanta Falcons after the Eagles get back from Sampa, Brazil. They get a long time off after that Brazil flight, which I think is great. Thank you, NFL. You could have played that Sunday, but instead they gave you the extra day. So I actually like that. Thank you, NFL. Something I don't get to say, nor should we say, very often when it comes to the Eagles in that schedule. After that, they go on the road for their next 2 games, and then they have the bye week. I know everybody's talking about the bye week. It's an early bye week. Oh, it's not great. Well, let's just see what Tim McManus had to say about it coming up in a second. I actually don't hate, considering the Eagles are playing their first game of the season in Brazil. I don't hate the early bye week, considering 2 of their preseason games are on the road. I don't mind an early bye week. Would you rather have it a little bit later in the season, maybe week 8, even week 7, just a little bit later? Sure. But this year in particular is not the year that I'm going to go, oh my God, an early bye week. How dare they? Because they play an international game. And because of also 2 of their preseason games are on the road as well. So I don't mind this. I like the long layoff between their week 1 matchup and their week 2 matchup. So I am all for that. So then they go to the Saints, and then they go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nice little playoff matchup again there for the Eagles. Hopefully they get a little revenge, right? They come out of the bye week. They play the Browns. Rest in peace, Browns. Then at the Giants, at the Bengals. 1 o'clock start times there for the Browns and the Giants. Bengals game will be a tough game facing Joe Burrow. Obviously, that'll be an interesting one there. Joe Burrow looking for that bounce-back season after dealing with a bevy of injuries and all that type jazz. Then Doug Peterson coming on back to the link for a prime-time Sunday night football matchup. Dallas, then they go to Dallas on November 10th. That's their first meeting with the Dallas Cowboys for a 4:25 kickoff. Washington Commanders, they got that on a Thursday night matchup there on Prime, so don't miss that. Then at LA and at Baltimore, and then this is where the beautiful December begins. The Eagles, after they get back from the Los Angeles Rams game there for another Sunday night football matchup, Sunday at it's November 24th, they go take a bus ride to Baltimore to take on the Ravens on December 1st. Then they host the Panthers, host the Steelers, go to Landover, Maryland to face the Commanders. Then they host the Dallas Cowboys, and then they host the New York Giants. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games where they don't have to get on a plane. I know some people think that doesn't matter simply because it's a private plane. Every player on a team plane gets their own row of seats. Yeah, I get it. But still, nobody wants to get on a plane. Nobody wants to be committed to being, even with a full row, no one wants to be committed to being somewhat still uncomfortable for a certain amount of hours. So nice, easy ride down to Washington during this stretch. Nice, easy ride down to Baltimore, Maryland during that stretch as well. Overall, I feel really good about this Eagles schedule. When you look at Tim McManus, the way he breaks it down, the Eagles, per ESPN, have the 12th hardest schedule in the NFL. He compares it to last year where they had the hardest schedule in the NFL. They'll face 6 playoff teams from last year. The bye week, he says, and I get it, it is not ideal. I agree. It is not ideal. According to Tim McManus of ESPN, Eagles beat writer, roughest stretch of the schedule, he points out, is the weeks 10 to weeks 13, where they go to Dallas, LA, and Baltimore. And you look at that. Okay. Dallas, New York, and wait, huh? What did I miss there? LA, yeah. In terms of the teams that you're facing, yeah, that is pretty rough. But overall, I mean, here's the thing when you look at the schedule. You look at the teams, obviously, the Eagles are playing. You look at when they're playing them. You look at the bye week for when you could have your bye week. So the end of September, beginning of October, you can have your vacation if you're one of those people that does that. You know? I look at the entire schedule, and I just think to myself, there's and then later say out loud to you, I really feel like the Eagles are going to be the one who knocks this year. You could look at the schedule. You could look at excuses of, oh, that's tough. Oh, that's going to be hard to overcome. A lot of people will jump right to the bye week. For me, the way the Eagles are going to end their season, they ended against the Giants for the 3rd straight year, if I'm not mistaken. And then they also have, right before that, the Dallas Cowboys. For me, this is that's what matters, is how that December shape really works out for the Eagles. And we learned last year that December can be quite detrimental to the entire season that you've been put together, even if you have been finding ways to win games up until December strikes, just like the Eagles last year. That December for me is really what it all comes down to. Again, this is not the year, I don't think, to be upset about an early bye week, especially if the last month of the season, you got a pretty easy ride, literally. I love the schedule. I like the fact that you have that early bye with the Brazil game. I like the fact that you have a long layoff after the Brazil game. I like the fact that you end the season close to home. And that, for me, when it comes to a team that I feel are going to be as good as the Eagles, that, for me, is really all that matters. So I don't look at the schedule and see any awful thing. I see 5 primetime games. I noticed that the Dallas Cowboys also have 6, actually 3 teams have 6 6 primetime games. The Eagles have 5. The Cowboys, Jets, and 49ers have the 6 primetime games. And how about this? The Carolina Panthers do not have a primetime game this year. I thought everybody had to be on primetime. But anyway, the Eagles are looking at the schedule like this, with Peacock opening up the season with the Eagles in Brazil. Also, ESPN carrying the Monday Night Football game, the return of Jason Kelce. By the way, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Jason Kelce took a picture with Rob McElhenney and Kate Olsen at some benefit thing. I think it was for Disney. Yeah, he's now in the ESPN family. So Jason Kelce looking pretty slim. So I think that might put an end to any Jason Kelce playing for the Eagles against the Falcons when he's in Philly again for this Monday Night Football game. But you got that Monday Night Football game there as another primetime game, their second primetime game. Then they got two other games on NBC in primetime when they host the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then they go to LA to take on the Rams. That's another 8:20 kickoff. Then they have another primetime game. That'll be the Thursday night matchup. One thing I don't like is that they go to Dallas and then have the quick turnaround against the Commanders. That's a tough ask to face two divisional opponents in that short a turnaround, but it is what it is. Shouldn't be an excuse. And then they just roll through the rest of the season. That's the way that works. After that, watch the Commanders game, of course, as per usual. They have a long layoff before they have to go back out to the West Coast or go out to the West Coast to take on the Rams. But 5 primetime games. If you're playing 5 primetime games, that means the NFL thinks you're going to be pretty good. Whenever I think about Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, even Thursday Night Football, networks have to have a trust in a team. The league has to have a trust in a team to be one of the premier teams. If you're a team, let's just put it like this. The Dallas Cowboys, everybody cares about the Dallas Cowboys. You either love or hate the Dallas Cowboys. That means everybody cares about the Dallas Cowboys. So networks fight over tooth and nail, man. They fight over the Dallas Cowboys to get that Cowboy bump throughout the season. When it comes to a team like the Eagles, a team like the 49ers, these are teams, a team like the Jets that has Aaron Rodgers this year, people want to see those teams play. The fact that the Jets and the 49ers have as many primetime games as the Cowboys is interesting, but it also shows that the NFL is trusting those teams to be good, and it also trusts you, the audience, that you want to see those teams play. When it comes to the Eagles being right up there with not 6, but 5 primetime games, it at least shows you that the rest of the NFL has respect for what the Eagles could do in the upcoming season. It also shows that they have a trust in what the Eagles could do in the upcoming season, that even if they do play a slightly superior opponent, and we'll see by the time they play that team whether or not they're extremely superior at all, or quite inferior. But it shows that the Eagles have at least the trust of the league and the networks to not get blown out in games. This is what the networks, this is what the NFL thinks about before booking primetime games. The flex schedule is just bonkers this year, and it's been really now for 2 years. It used to just be NBC, but now it's ESPN, NBC, everywhere pretty much. As long as there's proper notice to the league, and the league, it'll be at the league's discretion. But even that, the league is going to decide what goes where. And that's when the lawyers get in a room and they negotiate who loses a playoff game or their right to the first pick of a playoff game when the playoffs do, in fact, roll around. That's how this stuff goes down. Well, that's putting the cart before the horse a little bit. All in all, I like this Eagles schedule. I love this Eagles team going into the year. So the schedule for me is just helping me figure out what I have to do in my own personal life. As it may be for you as well. Let's get into your Philadelphia. So please, let's go through. All right, here's what I'll do for you guys real quick. All right, ready? Preseason win. Preseason win. All right, 3-0 in the preseason. Regular season. Here you go. Packers win, baby. Start off the season right. It's Sapa. Falcons win. Saints win. Buccaneers win. Don't waste my time. Come on. Then you take the bye week. Come out, get the Browns. Win. Giants win. Bengals lose. I have that Bengals game as being the first game the Eagles lose this season. Jaguars, they face them at home. They win that game at Dallas. Lose in Dallas. Hate to say it, but they're going to lose that game in Dallas. Washington Commanders win. Rams lose. Letdown game. Sunday Night Football. Ravens lose. Back-to-back losses. That's where, oh my goodness gracious. That's where we all panic. Right there. Carolina Panthers win. Again, the Panthers are the only team without a primetime game. And by the way, talking about trust, notice not only did the Panthers have not a one primetime game, the Panthers-Eagles game is at 1 o'clock. That's pretty much all you need to know about it. Steelers win at Washington. I'm going to say win. They sweep them. They beat the Cowboys at home, and then they beat the Giants at home, only having to play their starters for a half again. So what do I got them at there, huh? What do I got them at? 13-4? That's a pretty good season. It's a pretty good season. Yep. Pretty awesome. What do you got them at? And where's the best time to take the vacation other than the bye? That's another question I'll ask there. All right, now let's get to your Philadelphia Phillies. That was hideous yesterday. I actually went back and looked at all the mistakes that were made in that game for both teams. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 mistakes. A lot of them mental. All right. You could even stretch it to 11 or 12 in that game yesterday. But as ugly as a game it was, it had a gorgeous result. And that was a 10-5 victory over the New York Mets. And you know what was even more beautiful was that after it was all said and done with the Phillies and the Mets, the Braves went on and lost to the Chicago Cubs 7-1. That, too, was a beautiful thing. A couple of things that were really great about this game. Number one, Ranger Suarez. 5 innings, only 5 innings, 83 innings of work. Rob Thompson did point out after the game, the reason that he pulled him after 83 innings was they wanted to have a step-back game. I think he called it a pullback game. He had a pullback game with Ranger Suarez. They were hoping this would be it. He said after the first couple of innings, after a high pitch count through those first couple of innings, in awful weather, it wasn't just ugly with the way the defense was on the baseball field. It was also ugly weather-wise for the Phillies and the Mets. He said weather-wise, he wanted to get Ranger Suarez out of there, have the pullback game, and he also had a full bullpen. And Spencer Turnbull, who was able to pitch 3 innings yesterday. So they get Ranger Suarez there to 5 innings through 83 pitches. Did not allow an earned run, so the ERA drops from 150 to 137 in yesterday's game. And logging 5 innings with the win got Ranger Suarez his 8th win of the season. I pause it right here on Ranger Suarez before I go any further with the Phillies. Ranger Suarez is doing things that haven't been done since 1913. Okay? 1913. The Phillies are doing things they haven't done since 1993. Phillies are doing things right now they haven't done. They've only done 3 times in their history, which is get to 30 wins as fast as they did. I pointed this out yesterday when I referenced Anthony Sanfilippo's article about fans potentially looking for things to criticize. I'm enjoying this. Are there things we could be critical about? Absolutely. And I'm about to be, as a matter of fact, when it comes to the mistakes that were made in yesterday's game. Good Lord. But is anyone else just really enjoying the ride? I'm just really enjoying the ride right now with the Phillies. There's 162 of these things. We have 4 full months of baseball to watch. There's going to be mistakes. There are going to be trades, acquisitions. There's going to be decisions made by Rob Thompson. There's going to be bullpen arms trusted that shouldn't be trusted. There's going to be base running blunders, strike 3 call, the umpire mistakes. There are going to be plenty to bitch and moan about for the rest of this season. Is it so wrong of me to just go, this is incredible? Your rotation is incredible. Your lineup is mashing. And what am I upset? The bullpen's actually done okay. Like, what am I? Can't I just enjoy a team? Especially when you're talking about the first couple of months of the season, being well aware that this all could go to hell because we've all seen, implosions. I'm not even referencing the football teams most recent season. We've seen implosions with our sports teams before. When something is happening the way it's happening right now with the Phillies, where you talk about getting to 30 wins, second fastest you've ever done it in your team's history. When you're talking about the pitching rotation being the best in baseball. When you're talking about a guy like Ranger Suarez leading the league in wins, being 3rd as of right now in ERA. And him starting a season Now better than what you saw from Steve Carlton back in 1981, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the year. Yeah, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to bask in all of it. I see Kyle Schwarber with already 9 home runs in the season. Bryce Harper got his 10th. We'll get to him in a second. All this is great. Bryson Stott on the rise. Alec Boehm staying red hot. Bryce Harper raising his average the way he's raised his average. Bryson Stott doing the same thing. And all this while Trey Turner is on the bench. And Whit Merrifield playing wherever Rob Thompson feels like he should play on any given night. Left field, second base, third base, all over the place. It's pretty – did he have one game at first base? It's pretty amazing. JT Realmuto has to miss a couple of games. Phillies just keep winning. I'm going to enjoy it. We'll have a lot to be upset about later when you combine the last 4 months of the season, 4.5 months of the season, and the postseason. Is it so wrong? Or are you guys almost getting, antsy when you look at how well the Phillies are playing? Go, oh, no, something's going to – I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm waiting for the anvil to fall down from the heavens right on my head. Ranger Suarez is the guy that, number one, is making me appreciate this season more than anybody. After that, it's Alec Boehm with how great he's been playing, getting the promotion to be the Phillies cleanup hitter. I mentioned Bryson Stott being on the rise, Bryce Harper being on the rise, batting average-wise. And let's get to Bryce Harper because this is the second thing in yesterday's game. Not only did he knock in 3 RBIs, but he had the 3 hits. Not only did he pick up Ranger Suarez in the first inning after the Phillies had an egregious error there by Johan Rojas, who said that the rain got in his eyes. Okay. Still 2 hands, Ranger. 2 hands, baby. But he came up and he hit his 10th home run of the season, first Philly to get the 10 home runs. Not only step up with that 2-run single there and as part of that big 5th inning, but now for Bryce Harper. He's now hitting 271 on the season. Going into this game last night, he was hitting 271 or 261. He comes into the month of May. If you remember, he just came off of paternity leave. He played that game in Cincinnati, came back, hit the home run, hit a home run in his next game. But then he watched his average dip from 256 to 230 by the end of April. In the month of May now, Bryce Harper raised his batting average for the season to 271. In the month of May, he is hitting 364 with a 481 on base percentage. And he also has 4 home runs in the month of May. I remember earlier in the season talking about this guy, oh, you got to pick it up. If anyone said they were panicking about Bryce Harper, I just couldn't identify with you. And I know I might sound like Paulie Pom-Poms, just enjoy the beginning of the season. Bryce Harper was going to pick it up. Bryce Harper was going to pick it up. And now he's picked it up. 364 in the month of May, 481 on base percentage, 4 home runs. This is insane. And you're getting this all the while Bryson Stott is heating up. Well, he's just flat out hot. That's what he is right now. Alec Boehm staying hot. This is fantastic. And you get little spurts of Nick Castellanos actually looking like a guy who's a $100 million player. That's pretty good too. It's not often that we get this. So again, I'm going to bask in it. The third thing that really jumped out to me in last night's game is that even though the Phillies were making mistakes, the Mets found a way to out-mistake the Phillies. And here's what I mean. This was, oh my goodness. All right, so you have the first, here's I think I got 10 things here. Johan Rojas dropped the ball. This is how ugly last night's baseball game was. Rojas drops the first contact of the game with a line drive hit at him in center field that he drops. 2 hands, Johan Rojas. Drops the ball. Nimmo ends up getting on second base on that error by him. Comes around to score. And then in the second inning, Sosa couldn't handle a grounder that was in his mitt. It bounced out. That led to an infield single for Bader. Then in the second inning, Lucchesi forgets to cover first base for the Mets, making Pete Alonso dive to the first base bag to get Bryson Stott. Ended up working out for the Mets, but still, what do you call it? A brain fart there by Lucchesi. Then Pache has the throwing error. I don't know what happened there, but it was awful. Stott couldn't corral it at second. It might have slipped on the grass a little bit. Like it might have hit the grass and skidded as opposed to bounced. And then it went all the way to the Phillies dugout. Alonso then in the third inning forgets how many outs there were. There were 2, but instead he throws the ball to Francisco Lindor covering second base as if he's trying to turn a 3-6-3 double play. Lindor was even laughing at Pete Alonso. Fourth inning, Nick Castellanos. What the hell, man? You hit a ball to right field, your position. It's right in front of you as you're running up the first base line, and you think, with my speed, this will be a double. I'm going to take 2. Nick Castellanos ran out this ball as if he was playing right field and he was running on himself. Because if I'll give Nick Castellanos all the credit in the world for becoming a much better fielder ever since the World Series 2 years ago, and he has been. But there is no way Nick Castellanos is fielding that ball the way Marte did in right field. If he's pursuing that baseball, if he's playing right field of this, he is catching it, fielding it, taking 10 more steps to try to stop his momentum, and then throwing in to the infield. Marte gets the ball, takes like maybe a half a step, sets, turns and fires a second, and I think it was Lindor that made the tag. He had a sip of tea, cup of coffee, ate a bagel, and then tagged out Nick Castellanos. Out by a long shot. That was stupid. I've even given Nick Castellanos credit for even looking a little faster this year. I'm like, was he running some drills in the offseason there to try to get a little faster, a little quicker? Didn't show on that play. And that was just overall a mental error more than it was anything physical. So that was another mistake. Sixth inning, Pache hits the double play ball to Vientos, and Vientos bobbles it. Could have been a double play ball. It wasn't. Stott ends up scoring on that play. It's now a 6-2 ball game. Sixth inning, McNeil, later in the sixth inning, he makes that diving stop and then throws it away to first base to try to get Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber rightfully stays at first. Instead of the inning ending, another run scores. Phillies go up 7-2 at this point. Seventh inning, Vientos, I don't know what was going on, but you got 2 outs in the inning. You have a dribbler up the third base line. Vientos, instead of charging the ball, fielding it, and then tagging out Sosa, trying to take third for the final out of the inning, he just ate it. He just picked the baseball up like he thought it was foul. It was really weird. And then in the 8th inning, Rojas overextends himself on a diving play that he didn't need to dive for and drops another baseball. 2 hands, Johan. 2 hands. It was ugly. But throughout the ugliness, the Phillies just kept adding runs. Spencer Turnbull, they got to him a little bit later in that appearance that he had, but they were able to corral it. I mean, it was 10-2, and they made it 10-5. Okay. All right. Whatever. But all in all, I am just so impressed with yesterday's performance by this Phillies team because you look at it, Schwarber contributed with an RBI. JT Realmuto came back from the knee injury. He got an RBI and an RBI single. Unfortunately, ended up getting thrown out at home. There was a miscommunication. I was just assuming that I was an idiot, which is usually a pretty fair assessment. I'm watching the game, and I'm seeing Dusty Wathan hold JT Realmuto, or was it? Yeah, it was holding JT Realmuto with his right hand and waving Schwarber with his left hand. I can't say I've seen that too many times. They're rounding the bases. They're pretty close together. Dusty Wathan's got to relay 2 sides at once. And I was thinking about it. I was like, hold on. Is there a system here I'm unaware of where, hey, my right hand is going to be for the lead runner. My right hand's going to be for the second runner. My left hand's going to be for the lead runner. The lead runner go. Rear runner? Second runner? Stop. Is that communication? I mean, this is baseball where we got signs galore, you know? And then after the game, Rob Thompson just admitted, oh, yeah, that was confusing by Dusty Wathan. I'm not going to say he threw Dusty Wathan under the bus, but he explained, like, yeah, we didn't know what was happening. That was a little confusing. But he did say the silver lining in all of it was that JT Realmuto didn't try to abruptly stop while he was rounding third base, or second base, rather. That he would just kept running. Because if he would have tried to hold up, he might have hurt the knee even further. But he did say he took JT out later in the game, just because of the score, not because JT tweaked anything. And even when JT got thrown out at home on that play, even when that happened, he gave this little look like, was I supposed to go there? Because I don't know what he was doing. For the people on the podcast, I'm doing a phenomenal impression of Dusty Wathan holding JT Realmuto while waving home Kyle Schwarber. You go. No, you stop. You go. You stop. You go. You stop. But anyway, we can laugh about it now that the Phillies won 10-5. We can laugh about it now that the Phillies are up 3 games on the Atlanta Braves. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But also, you go down up and down this lineup. Everybody contributing here. Harper with the 3 hits. Bohm got a hit. Castellanos did get a hit. He'd be thrown out in second. Bryson Stott, 0 for 2, but 2 runs scored yesterday. He worked a walk, and he was hit by a pitch. Today we might rumble. This might be a good thing for the Phillies to get it out of their system before they go to London, because I very much doubt that that Major League Baseball would appreciate a Mets player hitting a Phillies player again in London, and then the Phillies take care of business there in London. Hey, look at these people; they're just uncivilized. Philly in New York. That would be bad. That wouldn't be good. So take care of it here in Philadelphia. Bohm's been hit twice. Stott got a first pitch sinker in the calf. Didn't like that. I was ready to rumble after that. But Stott still got on base twice yesterday. He upped his on base percentage to 288. He's got the 2 runs scored, so that's good. Sosa, another 2 runs scored for him. He had another hit. He had an RBI. He had a walk. Sosa continued. Edmundo Sosa at this point in the season is hitting .313. Not bad for a bat off the bench. Oh, and a .421 on base percentage. What? Yes. Christian Pache, he had 2 RBIs in yesterday's game, and Johan Rojas got you a hit, an RBI, and a run scored. I'm here for all of it. If there is one thing I was to do with this Phillies team that would be just a little bit different than what we've seen before, or what we've been seeing, is Trey Turner was out running around the bases yesterday. He's running sprints. I think he fielded some ground balls as well. So I think he'll be back in like 2 weeks, right? Maybe less. But over the next week and a half, let's call it, I'd love to see more of Bryson Stott at shortstop. I still think Bryson Stott is the best shortstop on this team, even with a healthy Trey Turner. I'd like to see him play that shortstop position a little bit more. And I know that the other argument, it's probably Rob Tom. I haven't heard him say this, but it's probably his argument. Why am I going to change 2 positions when I only really have to change 1? And I have Edmundo Sosa that can play shortstop. Well, yeah, but I think Edmundo Sosa will be a better second baseman, and I think Bryson Stott would be a better shortstop. And I also think that Bryson Stott doesn't care. I think Bryson Stott has what I talk to you guys a lot about. It's the whatever gene. It's the, hey, you're going to play short today. Whatever. Hey, you're going to play left field today. Yeah, whatever. Like Bryce Harper has that. Like, hey, you're injured. You're going to be sitting on the bench for a while or DHing. Bryce Harper, or I could play first. Everyone looks, huh? You've never played first. Yeah, whatever. To have guys that are whatever guys, that sounds bad when you go, oh, yeah, he doesn't care. No, but this is the good whatever. This is the good. I don't care. I'll learn it. I'll be great. And now all of a sudden, Bryce Harper, as we've talked about before, is the best Phillies defensive first baseman since, let's see the names we've covered in the past. Rico Brogna and Travis Lee. That's a long time ago. And we're talking about Bryce Harper, who learned the position in 20 minutes, like the scene in Moneyball. I've never played first base. Is it hard? Oh, it's extremely difficult. Yeah. He's nailed it. Makes a diving play last night. Love Bryce Harper at first base. But yeah, I think Bryson Stott is a very similar gene, the whatever gene. What do you need to win? Yeah, whatever. I can do that. Phillies and Mets wrap up this 4-game split home-and-home series tonight, 6:40, South Philadelphia. I thought Quintana was getting the start last night. I was wrong. Joey Lucchesi, he got the start. Jose Quintana gets the start. He's allowed 12 runs in his last 2 starts. Taijuan Walker gets the start for the Phillies. So let's go, Taijuan. Let's keep on keeping on. And as I did mention, Rob Thompson did say that the That JT Realmuto will be in the lineup tonight. So no problem there. Before I get to our chat check, a couple of more things on the schedule, not involving the Eagles. Netflix just continues to take over the world. 2 Christmas Day games on Netflix. Chiefs versus Steelers, Ravens versus Texans, excuse me. Those are going to be on Netflix on Christmas Day. So at least we get Christmas. Christmas on a Wednesday. It's one of the things I always look at, hoping the Eagles aren't playing on that day. Because I got a lot of fish to cook. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me tell you about MyBookie. MyBookie.ag. You want to get in on all the action when it comes to the world of baseball? And when it comes to the world of football, when it rolls around? WNBA, whatever it might be. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. It's all right there on MyBookie. MyBookie.ag. Download the app to your phone. Create an account. Use promo code Farzy and get up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus at MyBookie. MyBookie.ag. So take advantage of all they have to offer at MyBookie. MyBookie.ag. How about the Game Time app? Phillies got this nice little homestand. 2 games here against the Mets. Then they got the Nationals coming up. You want to go to the game? Game Time app is where it's at. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use promo code Farzy. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase. That's right, $20 off your first purchase when you create an account on the Game Time app and use promo code Farzy. They also have last-minute ticket deals, flash ticket deals. They even, if you're going to a concert, you're going to a comedy show, and you want to use the Game Time app, you can do that as well for those fantastic events. You might miss the opening act, you might miss the middle, but the headliner, the person you really want to see, you'll see them at a great discount on the Game Time app with their last-minute ticket deals, their zone ticket deals, their flash ticket deals, and their ticket deals for an hour after the event starts. Not too shabby. You can also view your seat before you buy. And my favorite thing, not only do they have the guaranteed lowest price, where if you find tickets in the same section in a row for less money elsewhere, they'll get your account back at 110% of the difference. That's the Game Time guarantee. This is what I love even more. All in pricing. So there's no it's ticket shock at the end. Where you go, whoa. I thought these tickets were like $30. Now they're 40? Huh? What? Not on the Game Time app, ladies and gentlemen. So download the Game Time app, use promo code Farzy, and get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. How about PHL Sports Nation? Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's phlsportsnation.com. Sky Motorcars, skymotorcars.com. Check out Brett's amazing inventory at skymotorcars.com. Let's get into the chat check. I'm sure you guys have all piping hot takes when it comes to the Eagles schedule. IBH, good morning. Gorby. Hello, Gorby. Farzy, Gorby, Farzy. What's going on, Gorby? Mike Fuji, what's going on? Good morning, folks. EAG. That's the earliest Eagles chant I believe we've had. Fighting's kicking ass. Hells yeah, Mike Fuji. Hells yeah. Fuji, I need your Fujidama's prediction. Because we know it's going to come true. Daniel, what's going on? Daniel, nice to see you. Sean Risco, what's going on? Early bye week is okay. We might need it to make early tweaks with the new coordinators and personnel. Sean, how dare you out-optimistic me? That is a great point. All right, guys, back to the drawing board. We don't know what the hell we're doing with anyone, so... Vic Fangio. Maybe I'm going to try blitzing. Maybe blitzing will be what we should do. That's not my Vic Fangio impression. That's just a voice that came to my mind. I don't know why. Babs! What's up, Babs? Truth be told, that's an easy schedule. But this team, like the Phillies, won't be judged on the regular season. It's all about winning championships. Babs. I love it. You tough grader, you. Sean Kilrain, what's going on, brother? Sean Kilrain. F the Fets. I'm sorry, the Mets and Chase Utley throwing out the first pitch. Let's go. You know, some of my favorite memories really do involve the New York Mets, and it's at their expense. Rhys Hoskins, like recent memories. Rhys Hoskins. having the slow trot around the bases. Oh, that was so amazing. After his home run, that was fantastic. Pretty much anytime Chase Utley played the Mets, that was fantastic. Whether with the Phillies or with the Dodgers. After the unfortunate event where Ruben Tejeda, his leg broke during a good, tough play by Chase Utley, they booed the hell out of Chase Utley, and Chase Utley just stood there with great, is this the right way to say it? Great stoicism? I don't know. Just stood there and didn't even give a damn. And then Utley's pole in right field, that's pretty great too. The Mets blowing 7 games in 12 days, 14 days. So the Phillies could win the division in 2007. That was pretty great too. So many beautiful memories at the Mets' expense. That was lovely. April! Morning. Oh, the schedule release video was cool. Got to give him credit. Credit to my man, Sean Young. I should get Sean on the show at some point. He's a lot of fun. But I thought it was great too. They show the W for the Washington Commanders, and Sean goes, taco holders. There you go. Amazon Prime games stink. Wait, what's going on here? Off the top of my head, I gotta look at it again. Let's see here. Beep pop, beep pop, pop. The Prime game is the Commanders game. I'm fine with that. Are you just talking about in total? The Prime games are no bueno? I don't mind them. I just don't like Thursday Night Football. I just don't like it one bit. Now we got Thursday football. We got Friday football. We're going to have Wednesday football on Christmas. The NFL is just, talking about something, the NFL they got us, man. It sucks, but they got us. I lost my place. Here we are. Sean Kilrain, yeah, first time since 2006, neither Eagles-Cowboys game is a primetime game for now. Surprising. Yeah, it is surprising, Sean. I should just keep the schedule up, but that's always a primetime game. CBS got it. And then the second to last game of the season was a Fox game. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising for those games to get flexed. Yeah. Man, that was something I could book every year. Is a Giants Cowboys game in Dallas or Eagles Cowboys game in Dallas. That was always on the schedule. And then I'd have to go to Dallas. I have to deal with those people. Actually, the Dallas Cowboy fans in Dallas are pretty awesome. I will say that. They don't annoy me. They're just rooting for their hometown team. What annoys me is the people not from there that are like, "This is my team." That is what it's like. I don't know about that. There we go. Sir Sketchable Farzy, where the heck on YouTube is the Locked On post game? Locked On Sports Philadelphia. If you go to YouTube, Locked On Sports Philadelphia, or on Twitter, I tweet out the link. You guys can find me there. So, yeah, my dad was telling me he was having trouble finding it. I talked to my dad yesterday. He's just like, "Hey, I'm trying to find you." This is the voice my brother and I both do for my dad. "Hey, I tried to find you, and I couldn't find you. Where were you?" That's my dad's first voice. My dad's second voice is when he talks to any one of his brothers, and he immediately turns into an 11-year-old kid from Ambler again. "Hey, John, how you doing? John. Hey, Mark, did you clean your room? No? You should clean your room. I told you to clean your room. But John, yeah, they got the gabagool. Did you get the gabagool? The gabagools, I made it. Hey, Michael, did you finish your homework? Is your homework done?" That's how my brother and I do a bit. Anyway, 13-4. Oh, there you go, Sean Kilrain. Love it. But anyway, sir, Sketchable, to answer your question, yeah, Twitter's good. Locked On Sports Philadelphia. You can go to Locked On Sports Philadelphia, subscribe, and you'll find me on there. Johnny G! Johnny G! Good morning, doctor. What's happening? Feeling pretty good about the Eagles' schedule this year, as am moi. Yeah, the local affiliates carry the game in Green Bay and Philadelphia. That was also true for the other international games last year as well, where locally it'll be on your local NBC affiliate. Mark sacrifices. Devontae, wait, what? Devontae, you're right if they play up to how they should play. Okay. IBH thinks I'll tell you there it is. Mark sacrifices chickens, just laughing. There's something about the name Mark sacrifices chickens with just 3 crying laughing emojis. There's something scary about that. I'm scared. Oh, Babs, thank you so much. Locked On Phillies podcast has Connor Thomas. I was just on his show recently. But if you go to Locked On Sports Philadelphia, you'll see me. I think you have to click live because we're live. But I appreciate you guys looking for me. Thank you. That's very nice. Uh-oh, Jeff, way to leave me in a cliffhanger. I'm always skeptical each year, but this year I'm very positive. 13-4, 12-5. I think at worst 12-5. I mean, looking at the schedule, there's nothing on the schedule that makes me go, oh. Yeah, no, I thought worst case scenario 11 wins. They could win 10. Mark Holmes. Okay, Mark. You're either Mark or somebody else in my fantasy football league. Anyway, nice to see you either way. If it is Mark Holmes, I will acknowledge on my own show that you were the only person when we taught swimming back in the day that knew how to actually do the butterfly stroke. I could not do the butterfly stroke. I couldn't get the two kicks, one pull. I couldn't do it. It's very, very, very difficult. Little inside baseball. Okay. Morning Rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars. SkyMotorcars.com. The Boston Celtics unfairly finished off the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA playoffs last night. Karis LeVert didn't play. Donovan Mitchell didn't play. I'm leaving out one other person that didn't play, but it was a bunch of backups for the Cavs. So they lost. Celtics move on. They survive and advance. Mavericks won last night against OKC. So they're 1 win away from clinching and moving on to the Western Conference Finals. Phillies back at it tonight, 6:40 start time. They wrap up this split 4-game home-and-home series with the New York Metropolitans at 6:40 tonight. You'll have Taijuan Walker on the hill, and he'll be taking on Jose Quintana. Yeah. And then the Phillies start a 3-game series over the weekend with the Washington Nationals, 6:40, 6:05, and 1:35. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show, presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. I am not Mark Holmes. All right, Chuck? I don't know. Let's sweep the Mets. Let's do it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Jacob Media YouTube channel. And make sure, after we're done, I hit end on the show, run the close, right? And then you Locked On Sports Philadelphia. And then you guys should be finding me on air while I have you. Hey, while I have you, just a second. Typing in Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Yep, there it is. And then I look, and you click live. And then, yeah, there's the post-game show I did last night. Ranger moves to 8-0. I don't have my picture. I don't have my picture up there. Should I put my picture up there? I'll put my picture up there so you guys can see me. I know Connor puts his up there. Pretty much everyone puts their picture on there. I just don't like myself. Kidding. I love myself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Be back with you guys tonight on Locked On Sports Philadelphia, following the Phillies, completing this 4-game home-and-home split series with the New York Mets. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Back with you guys tonight. See you then.